What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy, and this is Solo Leveling, Season 2, Episode 9, I think? Sure. Brandon will correct it here if that's wrong. This is the follow-up to us finally defeating the Demon King Arrakis? I've been doomed! I don't remember his name, but he was dope. Little purple, horny man. He was very horny. And he nearly won. It was the closest Jinwoo's come to losing. But then Isel, being the best friend that she is now, I guess, because she distracted him, and we won the day. Which means it's time for us to go wake up our mom. Oh, I have a feeling this is going to be like the most emotional episode yet, and I'm very excited for it. If you want that full-length reaction, go to patreon.com/nerdynightly. But if you don't, stay here, because you're already here, and this video is about to begin. Oh. Oh, do you do it now? Oh, shit. Has he put enough in intellect to craft this? If not, this is gonna suck. Thank God. 6?
命の浸水はできた。だが、これで本当に母さんの。
Okay.
アイアン、珍しく気が利くな。
We get the fucking dragon? No way! Okay. Alright. This show knows what I like. Can he ride the dragon?
なんて名前だっけ?
Jesus Christ, dude. He's really not.
あった。
Is he just gonna leave her there?
これって影の兵士がどこにいても場所を入れ替えできるってことか。それなら。
Oh shit.
ラディス邸は80階だからな。寄って帰るにはちょっと
So he can just trade places with his shadow soldiers that are running around Seoul? This guy's like, what? How the fuck did I get here? What?
ここからの移動はカイセル。
Yeah, that's not gonna freak people out. Just a dragon flying around Seoul. That's not gonna be a problem for like the news.
一末の不安もないと言えば嘘になるが、調査結果は正確。こちらの見解とも一致している。
What are your doubts?
眉間にしわ寄せてると老けますよ。
S 級ヒーラーミン・ビョング。大きな負傷もせず若いうちに現役を退いた数少ない。
Interesting. Retiring is such a like weird thing in this world. Because if the gates do bust open, they come into the real world.
あれをいつまでも好きにさせてると、そのうち国中がああなってしまう。
いつからそんな愛国者になったんですか?
I don't think wanting the people of a country to die is necessarily patriotic, right?
ダメなんですよ。血とかそういうの。
As a like healer, he probably sees some of the worst of it, right?
歴史が得意だったのか。
俺って時代劇とか好きじゃないですか。
なんだそれ。
And that helps.
考えてみれば、モンスターと戦
It's
う
a really cool shot.
あまり見たこと。
お主もあるよの。
Huh.
なんだそれ。
I get it though. Like there's doctors that do that, right? Where they work so hard to become surgeons, and then after a few years, it's like I can't keep looking inside bodies. I can't keep losing people, right? Oh Jesus.
俺のせいでやけどしたのに。
What the fuck? I kind of wish his sister could have been here for this, but... He can fight the Demon King in his castle. But he's shaking, administering medicine to his mom. That's why he's our guy. Did it make her younger?
今日は集中できない。なんでだろう。
I love that I just said I want his sister to be here for this.
風が暖かい。
Is the system leading her to this moment?
ジヌなのね。
Damn.
ありがとうジヌ。約束守ってくれたのね。きっとたくさん無理もさせてしまったのね。
Oh man, they fucking nailed it. This is so good.
ありがとうジヌ。
Oh man. Oh shit. That was fucking perfect. Oh, it's everything I wanted.
すぐの退院を希望されていまして。
Oh man, that was so damn good.
以下のハンターたちも海上の守備、本土の警備にあたり作戦遂行をサポートするとともに
Everyone is locked the fuck in. Let's go. Also, if anyone has seen Jin Woo, please tell him to call me.
終わらせよう。それは力を持った俺たちにしかできない。この国をアリの巣に。
Damn, that is a sexy man with a ponytail.
おいお前は目を離すとすぐに。
さて4年ぶりの家事はお掃除からかしら。
It's such a mom.
汚れもなかなか落ちないわ。
そりゃ私が生まれた頃から住んでるんだもん。
Jin Woo's like, do you guys want like a nice house? I can afford like anything.
このタイミングだ。無理もない。
Thomas
だ
Andre.
が一国家の軍事力と同等の力を持つと認められ
The way his mutton chops move is so silly.
ところで孫ハンターとはまだ
いえ、先ほどようやく。もう間もなく来るかと。
Hell yeah. Oh my god, I'm so excited for next episode.
俺は魔力の波長。
What the fuck was that?
今体育館で S 級ハンターたちが体をほぐしているんですよ。興味があるようでしたらご覧になっていきますか。
Okay.
レクシアム、まだ若いんだからもう少し足腰を鍛え直した方がいいんじゃないか。
Bro, don't skip leg day.
先ほどの魔力の波長はおそらく彼らから発せられたものでしょう。
I don't know if that's it.
人前では全力を出すことができないんですよ。全力の戦いをするとき、彼は怪物と化すんです。
Oh, he's got like a bloodlust thing.
お見えになりましたか。日本の S 級ハンター。
Sick. They're all so young.
あの人は魔法系です。
あれが
体をめちゃくちゃにしてくれた孫じゃないか。
道理で空気が変わったと。
Oh, she can't smell these other hunters. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
マスターは S 級やなくて A 級やから聞いたことないかもしらんけど、それでもうちは国内の5大ギルドの一つや。
Dude, I don't care about A-ranks. Get the fuck out of here.
せっかくなので親善試合をします。 S 級ハンターだけで。
俺は蚊帳の外なんかい。
Dude, do you want to be a part of it? They're all S rank.
では参加するのは戦闘系のみ。手首をつかまれる、背中をタッチされ
Your
る。
wrist is grabbed. Oh, interesting. Okay.
1対1ではなく一度に全員で勝負。現地ではほぼ確実に乱
I'm
戦
a
に。
little worried the Japanese have been practicing together and that the Koreans are going to be outmatched just because the Korean system is so divided.
ベクハンターの4人。
こちらは田畑、熊本、星野。
Oh, okay. Jin Woo is not competing. Interesting.
では親善試合を
I love how bored he looks. He's like, I just want to be home with my mom. Ah, shit. All right. Well, I cried. I love this show, man. This episode gets into something that I find really, like, weird sometimes about shows where magical abilities exist. And it is the totally reasonable desire to no longer participate in combat with the tension of, but also, like, the world is gonna end. Like, I get that you want to be home with your mom, and I get on the healer side, like, you don't want to see blood anymore. But, like, if everybody dies, you can't work for the government. And it's just something that it is a thing that doesn't exist in real life, because there's no individual person in our world who is powerful or important enough that they can stop a global disaster, right? We don't have a Superman. But there is an interesting part of that, the conversation, particularly over drinks, where he's like, I can't do it anymore, man. And the other guy's like, okay, well, I just want to let you know, like, I have to go back, because, like, if we don't, they're just going to kill like, one of these ants wiped out a town, my guy. A town of people. And it's such an interesting moral quandary that we just don't, it's not real, right? It's not a real world problem that we can have. And so it is very fictional. But if you are one of 20 people in, Japan and Korea who can stop this, how do you not, right? How do you not go? And I totally see the reasons why people wouldn't. I get what the healer's saying. I totally get it. But at the same time, it's like, okay, like, if you don't want to come, that's fine. But if we fail, everyone you know and love will be murdered by giant flying ants. So, like, it's up to you, bud. I have a feeling he's going to end up going. I do. The shot of him sitting at the park watching the kids play, because that's what you're fighting for. You're not actually fighting for, like, you are fighting with the guy across the table from you, and you're fighting for him because you love him, and clearly they have a long-standing relationship. But when you're fighting for the world, what you're fighting for is those kids, right? When we talk about climate change and, like, fighting against the way in which we are polluting the planet, we're not talking about, like, tomorrow. We're not talking about 2026. We're saying that if you go sit down at a playground and you watch a bunch of kids play, you want those kids to grow up in a better world than the one we are currently living in. And, it's part of the problem with, like, Western capitalism and how it's so short-sighted and how we're willing to fucking destroy long-term growth in order to have short-term wealth. All that aside, there is the element of it where, like, he's sitting there looking at those kids going, oh, right, fuck their future. I gotta. Oh, man. This episode was so good. It's so good, man. Because it brings up that more quandary. I'm not saying, and to be fair, I want to be clear. I'm not criticizing the show for the way that it handled it. I'm just talking about what the show brought up. The show brings up so many themes. And if someone wants to, like, fight me and call this just a, like, simple power fantasy show, I will fight you. The show isn't simple. You cannot break this show down into Jinwoo's strong, good fights. It is politically complex. It has, like, international concepts and ideas. It is so thematically resonant, even with a character that we meet in this episode having this, like, giant thematic imprint placed upon the show with the way that he's feeling. And just a shot of him watching kids play has this deep meaning. The show is so well thought out, and the story is so rich. And I refuse to live in a world where people are calling this just a power fantasy. Because that is an element of it, but that's not really what the show's about, right? The power fantasy of the show isn't why this is good. It's why the fights are fun, right? It's why it's beautiful to watch sometimes in the animation of the choreography of the combat. But the show is about, what does power mean in society, right? What does it mean to be an individual with power? And how do you respond to that? How do you emotionally handle that power? And we see that with Jinwoo, right? Like, he gets to have this beautiful moment in the sunlight, or in the moonlight rather, with his mom. Gorgeously animated. The moonlight, painting across her bed as it gets up to her face. And I actually, I like the shot of the person waking up in most things, but it is the easier shot. I think that the harder shot, and the thing that they nailed here, is that you don't actually see his mom wake up. You see Jin-Woo watch it. And I loved the choice. I love the way they handled all of that. It fucking got me. And then you pan over to her when she's already sitting up. Like, I think that was a really clever series of shots. And, you know, I like that Jin-Ah, his sister, didn't make it there for it. I feel like that might have been cheesy. But giving her the moment where she's restless and just there's something in the air and she goes outside and there's this warm breeze that hits her, that was just enough. It allowed her to be a part of the moment just enough without being like, how the fuck did, you know what I mean? Like without it becoming sort of like fantastical in a way that doesn't feel real. It felt very supernatural in a way, right? This like warm breeze coming as her mom wakes up, but in a way that also felt possible and more karmic than magic. And I really like that choice. But my point I was making, so he gets this beautiful moment with his mom, and then that overshadows how he's thinking. That overshadows how he's feeling about what he's done. And he has that moment where he's like, this was all worth it. But then, a couple days later, he's sitting in his, or maybe the next day, he's sitting there and they're cleaning together and his mom's there and his sister's there and they're happy. And he's like, but I've killed people. Like, and the weight of what he has done still weighs on him, even though he thinks it is worth it. And that's fucking real as shit, right? You see some media sometimes where it's like, well, it was all worth it. You know, ends justify the means. I'm going to be okay because of it. Show over, blah. And this is like, the show's we're not even halfway there, right? I've heard this is probably going to be 5 seasons. We're not even halfway there. Jin-Woo was wrestling with the fact that he did it all to save his mom. He saved his mom, made me cry. And now he has to live with the fact that there were some real things that he did that got to this point. Does he regret them? No. But does that mean that there's no weight on him? Absolutely not, right? It's really good writing. It's rich and complex writing. And I fucking love this show so much. I love these characters. I love this world. I'm so excited to meet all of these new hunters. Like, the designs are sick. I can't wait to watch this fight next week. I thought we were going straight to Ann Island, but that was foolish of me. We've got to train. We've got to meet these characters. Watching the Japanese hunters go do their thing, if we never met them and got to know them, would feel kind of a waste. Or not feel like a waste, but I feel like it would mean that like tense moments in the fight on Jeju Island wouldn't have as much weight. And so I want to get to it. I want to get to the ants. I want to fight the ants, and I get that, right? I'm impatient. But the show is making the smarter choice, and it's good writing. It really is. This is one of my favorite, like, the writing of this anime is one of my favorite, like, writings of anime. What's the word I'm looking for? It's some of my favorite writing in an anime. Mostly because of how well it's tackling theme. I sometimes think that, especially battle animes, they sacrifice theme for hype. And, like, I think Demon Slayer does that a lot. I think that Demon Slayer loses its themes in order to allow for the battles to be hype. And I feel like this show at times doesn't seem like, sometimes the fights are really fast. Like the show doesn't even seem to care about the fights as much. They're beautifully animated and they look amazing and they're exciting, but they're never so important to the animation that the show gives up on its themes, that it lets go of the deeper things it's trying to say. And as the show's kind of unspooling into all of these different parts of the government and all these different parts of the story, I think that you're seeing how richly thought out the themes of the show are. And I could talk about this show forever. I just could. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited every Saturday to sit down and watch it. I was just on a trip in Colorado with some friends, a trip we do every year. And my buddy Luke has the solo leveling dagger tattooed on his wrist, and it's so cool. And I'm like, I kind of want it, but also then I'd just be copying him, and I can't do that. So that sucks. He beat me to it. But God, it's such a good tattoo. We had like a watch party. It was fun. Anyway, if you liked the video, like, subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave me comments down below, because the algorithm god is hungry and we must feed her. This episode, that algorithm goddess is Jin-Woo's mom. That was beautiful. Also, like, way not to like shame your daughter too much for being messy. If you want to follow me on the internet, you can. I'm at nerdynightly. As always, do something nerdy tonight. Bye.